What's up, guys?
This is a very late podcast.
Very, very late podcast, but anyway.
Podcast after dark.
As you can tell by the laugh, we've got a special guest. What's your name?
Flex.
This is Flex. And this is the interview podcast that we promised you guys. Whoa.
Hiya. I'm here.
That's why Barton works, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, because they could tell by our weird voices.
Right, anyway.
So this is a kind of like a
different
kind of podcast. We're not even going to talk about the news or anything. We're literally all interviewing Flex.
Good. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, first.
I'm Flex, and I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to answer any questions that these guys have for me.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Single.
I am recently single.
Any ladies out there wanna hit them up?
Yeah.
They're not after we've
Certainly not. No, not after these questions.
Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe. Oh.
No, really.
Anyway, right.
So,
Do you want to go first?
yeah, I'm saying, do you want to start and tell you what you think? Why do you think that we want you on the podcast?
Because I'm like the most famous person in the world, and like, who wouldn't want to interview me?
More subscribed in the thing, past PewDiePie in subscribers like
Yeah,
yesterday.
one of my videos has more than all of your videos put together.
I know it has. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link in the description.
I was 16.
Like all even my videos as well. That was the thing. All of my videos from I
That's
know
what I did.
you put one. No, you've got like two, but your main one, and I put 10, and you still got more views than me.
Anyway, I would like to ask fucking Flex. J Flex.
But that's his rap name, J
That's
Flex.
my rap name, J Flex.
Well, it was, now it's Lost Cause. But
So it was, now it's Lost Cause, but
he's changed. He changes it like my
in the
mate.
booth on Snapchat.
My question to you is, as a 29-year-old, how do you think young'uns are these days?
Weird. Very weird, because they all look old. They all dress like they're older. And they all dress like they all want attention of everybody. And even the lads, you seen them with their little haircuts where it looks like they're wearing a wig. And their hair's like on a slant.
Yeah.
And they've got the quiff on a slant. Who cut your hair?
Apparently that's called a fade.
That is not a fade. The fade goes up to here, both sides, and it's stepped in. I know what a fade is.
Yeah.
Hairdressing.
It's the new. It's
the
the
hairdressing, and
yeah.
that is not a fade.
Mhm.
Could you tell us about your life?
Can you tell us like about like say from 16 or no that like say what kind of what
Not in great detail.
not in great detail but like just something like mad about you.
Wait. I used to be a Raji MC
in a Westlifer.
and a Westlifer. If anybody doesn't know what a Westlifer is, you're too young.
If you don't know what a Westlifer basically is, you just a copy of any of the members of Westlife.
Any boy band really at the time, but
At
mainly
the
Westlife.
time between 2000 and 2005.
You had a lot of friends, though, didn't you?
I did. I was one of the most
Like,
popular lads in school.
It was like it's not like it's like the popular kids now, but like the popular kids are Rajis. But the Rajis were the worst. Were like the were unpopular ones.
Yeah.
Now it's switched over. How does that feel?
As a 29-year-old?
I like change.
Yeah.
But the Rajis nowadays think they rule everybody because they're like, the Raji kids are the popular kids, and they're like, they think they're great, and they think they're mint, and they think they can do what they want, but they really can't.
Mhm. I'm gonna push the bandwagon a bit, right? So what happened in your life, literally like 3 years ago?
I went down a dark path.
Mm-hmm.
I was taking heavy drugs.
What was the cause of that?
What was the cause of that? Depression,
Mm-hmm.
Mental health is
mental health issues.
What was the cause of their mainly the main cause of their mental health issues?
Losing people that were close to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like family members.
You got your heart broken as well.
Yeah, that as well. Like,
Mm-hmm. No.
But
Anyway,
Yeah.
at the time,
Mm-hmm.
I was going down a really dark place, and I was hitting the heavy drugs, and I got myself into debt, and I had to go to jail because of it.
Yeah. Because this podcast is like inspired by a channel called After Prison Show, which I'm going to put in a link in the description. Like, I've watched this. It's about one guy went to an American prison. I thought, and this was during the time when Flex went into prison, and it was like kind of made us understand a little bit more about it, and it's not as scary as you would think, but it is in a way.
It is. It is. Don't please don't sugarcoat prison because
I'm not sugarcoating prison. I'm just saying it's not like the movies where it's like in a
Oh no, it's not like that. But
that kind of scary. It's like it is scary in like a mental situation.
Because you've always got to watch your back. You don't know
Yeah.
who these people are, or what they're capable of, and what they're even in for.
could
Yeah,
you tell us
Because people lie.
what prison you were in first?
I went to Durham prison, which is
Prison in the UK.
it was a remand prison.
Mhm.
Basically, you go there, and then they'll sort out what prison you're going to from there.
Believe it or
But they had to
not,
lock you up somewhere, so
Yeah.
they put you there.
believe it or not, as much as Jay Flex didn't do anything as bad as Adam Johnson when you were in jail the same time as him.
Not the same time. I missed him by 3 weeks.
But
Devastation because
He's-
I was gonna.
he's only getting out.
Give him an uninspected visit
Yes, I was gonna give him an unexpected visit when he was
in that prison.
in his pad or anywhere.
Should we as YouTubers,
Yeah, that's his YouTuber. Right?
us as YouTubers, explain to the people out there that Flex here is actually our brother?
Flex is our brother, yes.
Just
The
so.
older brother.
I know we're interviewing them like we never even knew
Yeah.
him, but our brother.
we're
just-
interviewing as what you would think and all that.
This is for your purposes, guys.
Yeah, we obviously know everything and all that, but there's some things about what I'm actually trying to ask him is,
Maybe
I know that is what I don't know as well, and this is like what you would think.
we should
is
also tell
anything-
them what it was like for us
Yeah.
when he was in
Which is-
That's a
prison.
good idea.
Because at the end you can ask us questions
Yeah.
as well.
Explain what Durham was like
Yeah.
when you went in.
Durham was like a zoo. Imagine all the animals are locked in enclosures, right? Imagine in them enclosures, they're all locked in a little cage.
Right.
And during association time, all doors get opened. All of them.
Like, so you've got murderers, thieves.
All running in together, kind of.
So it's kind of like if as a zoo open all the cages at once and then they'll
It's
go
like
into
you
one.
all get into the enclosure, but then
There's like
you can only be in the enclosure, but then if you need to go somewhere like to healthcare, which is the doctors by the way, or you got to go to the dentist, which is in the same building as healthcare, it's just
don't have barbers in there as well.
yep, but they're people on the wing, they're like
Yeah.
other prisoners.
It's like prisoners want to make their way.
Actually,
It's kind of like you've got the tattooists, you've got the basically you've got the dodgy dealer of the thing.
Basically, any job you find on the outside, you will find inside,
Yeah.
but adapted.
Like see if you're
If you're a joiner
yeah.
and somebody needs a cabinet built, you will build them a cabinet or a little box to store the backy in or
Yeah.
something, and then they will repair you with backy
But it
or.
was-
or like their commissary.
but it was
Aye. It's not called
I know
commissary,
it's not
it's called
commissary.
canteen in this
Canteen.
country.
Yeah, but commissary, you know
Yeah.
what commissary is.
I mean-
yeah, it's like what you get in your what you get in your little your canteen bag. You like say I give you a tenner worth of canteen.
Aye.
And if
Let's
that could be like
flex.
that could be like say bags of Doritos and all that.
Aye.
tell us, the viewers, what you got in your canteen.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
in
Well,
Durham, though.
Like because we used to send you money. It was
Aye.
like 10, 20 quid per
I remember
week,
going
right?
to the post office every
Yeah. Get
every
it.
couple of weeks to get it.
I used to send that to my, because I was like, I got paid while I was in prison, so I got my sister to go to the bank for us
The
and
post office.
post at the post office and post me my money, but she had to get a postal order and send it in to me, which then had to get transferred onto my funds, which is what it was called.
Yeah,
You had to
funds, yeah.
expendable funds.
And then you.
And then from there, you would have to wait a week until you got a little slip through your door, which was a big, massive shopping list of everything they sold.
Aye.
And you just had to put a number 1 or a number 2, how many you wanted,
Basically,
and
right,
work it all out at the end, and that's how much you're meant.
Yeah.
They're meant
Right.
to take off.
can I just interrupt you? I watched 60 Days In, and that was basically the same.
So did I.
Literally, they had checklists, and that's what you got. You got like your Doritos, yeah, whatever you needed, or tampons if you're a girl, and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, watching that while you were in prison
What was the
was
first?
horrible.
What was the first thing? The first thing that you got in your canteen?
The first thing I bought,
Yeah.
Batty,
Yeah.
because it was at the top.
Yeah.
The second thing I bought, I looked all the way through it to find coffee.
Uh-huh.
You both know me, I love my coffee.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Your
I
coffee.
can't function in the morning without having a cup
Yeah.
of coffee.
Did you buy like toothpaste?
No, you
like,
get that
soap?
for free.
Do you?
As soon as you go in, I'll tell you what happens as soon
I'm
as
saying,
you go
like,
in.
so did you get that like provided like once a week or something, or like?
Whenever you needed it.
Whenever you
Pretty
needed
much once a week.
So you got it for free because
Aye,
in
but it was
America you
shitty.
don't. In America you
It's
don't.
toothpaste shit.
And like
Aye.
say.
The only thing the toothpaste is good for is sticking pictures and posters to
Yeah.
the wall.
I remember you telling me that because I was like, that's what they do when they escapists in the game.
Like,
It's literally true. It's like
I
the
remember-
only thing it's good for is sticking posters to the wall, and any prisoner
That's
that's
did
been
you
in a
forget to
British
put your
prison
phone
will
on
tell
time
you
in
that.
the game? Anyway, but Escapist is a prison game.
I've
And I
done it.
remember talking to you when I would come and visit you about this stuff that I had, because Escapist, Jack Zipperkai had been playing Escapist at the same time. So it was like, I was watching Escapist while you were in prison, and
Yeah.
I used to come to you and go, oh, and I wouldn't make a shift, and I would do this. It's like, I'm the one in prison. What are you doing?
it's like because when I've been watching After Prison Show, right, I know how to make a prison tattoo gun.
That's mad.
It's smart. It's like it's very simple to make.
But did you make any friends in Durham?
Yes, I did. I made arms.
Arms. That's your friend's name.
Yes.
We had enough. The guy, you know, Lieutenant Kenda. Now his partner. He's called Skip Arms. So
Yeah, he's called Arms. He's
is that because he had arms?
no.
Did he have no arms?
Well,
he
yes,
obviously
he
had
had
arms.
arms, but he didn't have arms for days or whatever.
Right.
He didn't
wasn't
have
muscle.
muscles on top of muscles.
Right.
He's.
Was it just a
Am I allowed to say his real name?
No.
No, you,
Well,
well, the fact
that's-
you
that's
can't.
up to
It's,
you.
it's up to you.
Right.
If you
He's called him Mia, so we'll call him Arms.
Oh, well,
Okay.
I remember him.
Aye.
I remember you telling
Yeah.
him.
Aye,
yeah.
he's a nice lad. He's lovely.
Mhm.
Didn't he phone you after prison?
If you think he won't mind if he ever watches this, if you
Nah, he
think, okay,
And he was nice to you in Durham.
I'll give you an example. This doesn't happen with many prisoners. Like, this doesn't happen at all. This is why I was quite shocked. I thought he had a hidden agenda. Like, I was at healthcare for 3.5 hours waiting for my appointment for a nurse that wasn't even in that day.
Why were you in healthcare for? Were you in a
Because my
fight?
Spots on my face, and
Oh.
because I had a bite on my side of my on my side that had got infected.
oh yeah,
Because the mattresses, they're filthy, by the way. The whole prison is filthy. They've got cleaners. Cleaners do their jobs and they try their hardest.
Mhm.
But the cleaners aren't the one that cleans the mattresses. The cleaners aren't the ones that clean the...
Mhm.
Other prisoners are. Like,
What was the blankets like? I'm sure you told me little blankets were like paper thin.
imagine everything you get in a hospital, on a hospital bed. The green sheets, the orange blankets,
Which are white now.
which are white now, yes. But in prison, you obviously that old hospital blankets. That's exactly what you get. You get a crash mat for a mattress. That's about. Would you say that was about 2 inches?
Yeah.
That's
Aye.
well, that's about 2 inches thick mattress, which is. It's not even memory foam or solid foam.
Is
literally
it
sponge.
is it kind of like the mats that you get in gymnastics?
Yes, like a crash
Yeah.
mat, but
Or is it a mat? Is it the mats that do you know the seats? You know the disabled seats. You know that way you get the disabled cushions. So like that, but as a bed. So what disabled people have for a bed topper?
but what you had as a bed topper, that
Yeah.
blue thing,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that's all it was. And
You were in
you got
healthcare.
one pillar that was exactly the same, with the same rubber blue plastic on it. Then you got 2 blankets and a sheet. You had to make your bed every day. You had to keep your pad tidy. You couldn't sit round.
And they didn't have a proper mirror, did they?
No, you had.
Because it's like plastic in it.
It was a piece of plastic that was about 4 inches square,
Right.
and it had a hole on each side because it was meant to be screwed to the wall. But what we used to do was we used to rip a piece of. Excuse me. We used to rip a piece of cloth off our bed sheets, tie it to the mirror, and tie something to the other end of the mirror, like the 2 holes, diagonal holes.
Right.
Yeah.
And we used to spin it like this to our pad mate next to the person on the pad that way, to the person on the pad that way, or the person on the pad across. You could spin it like that and send it underneath the door, and it used to
Yeah.
fly and go under their door if you were clever. But if you missed, you got caught.
Right.
You could just drag it back.
To be honest with you,
Quick.
that sounds like
But like,
Like
if
a
there's like
game.
something in the way, like say if there's a pool table in the way or something, and that it just like accidentally just hits off it, and it goes the other direction.
Aye.
It's in between
It's
two,
lost.
in between two doors.
You've lost your
You've lost it. And the fact is, then they'll look at the.
Anyway,
They'll say it's connected to your pad.
you
Yeah.
you were saying about Amia. You had him when you were in healthcare.
Well, I was in healthcare and I missed dinner. I missed tea time. I come back and there was nothing left for us for my dinner. And he obviously, because I went round with like the dinner queue with him every day. I used to queue up and either in front or behind him and sit and talk to him all day, like all the whole way through the queue. Because you were in the queue for a good hour.
Yeah.
Because it was 350 prisoners wanting to get
Mhm.
fed. So you were in the queue for an hour, waiting, and by the time you got your food, you got like 15 minutes left to eat your dinner.
So he was nice to you though.
What he did was, I'm going to refer to prison officers as screws, okay, because it's easier, and prisoners as cons, if that's alright with the viewers, and if that's alright with Bats and Whis.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Right.
Like as long as you like, because you can't just like.
You can't just call them screws without
The
explaining
screws out
who
is
they are.
That's why I
Peop-
explained it
Yeah,
first.
if you explain it first, then people will know because it's your terminology.
Right.
You know that.
So,
But I'm pretty sure they're sick of Robert Geordie language anyway.
so what he did was he asked one of the screws to let him out and come and give us a carrier bag with 2 packets of noodles in it, 2 sandwiches that he had kept one from the morning time and one for his dinner.
Aye.
And because he had lots of canteen,
Aye.
because he had been in there 3 weeks and I hadn't,
Yeah.
and he gave us like a little pouch like this, like a little paper folded envelope
Yeah.
with 3 pieces of cardboard in, cut to the size, like ripped to the size of a roach,
Yeah.
3 tab papers,
Mhm.
a little bit of baccy, which is called burn in prison,
Yeah.
and 2 matches,
Yeah.
and a little half the strikey bit to
Yeah.
strike the matches with. And I was like, he was just like, yeah, I've got to be quick, but you didn't get your dinner, so I thought I'd look after you.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Because
nice.
one of our family members' friends, we'll just refer to him as OB,
Yeah.
was in jail at the same time as me.
Yeah.
And he was friends with them already.
Yeah.
So he kind of like introduced us to them, and then me and Arms just clicked,
Mhm.
and he was me bro straight away. Like inseparable,
Mm-hmm.
walking around together all the time. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest, the whole time we were there, we were on the hunt.
Yeah.
Not to steal things or anything like that. We wanted to build up our rap music collection. And
Yeah.
in jail, it's hard to get rap music.
I know.
It's hard to get rap music, even though
I'm saying I like I'm saying I know, like I've been there.
yeah,
I know.
exactly.
And
Can-
it just
Can I-
when we say I know, it's mean we'll understand.
Can I ask what the food was like? Because obviously I've watched that 60 Days In, that food shit.
To be honest,
It's like school dinner.
nah.
No.
School dinner, but nicer.
In Durham, yes. In Kirklev, no. Because I will go on to talk about where I was next after Durham, but we haven't got to that point yet. But it was Kirklev
We'll have to hurry you, like, Jay.
Kirklev
I'm sorry, like.
Kirkleventon Grange in Yarm, and HMP Kirkleventon Grange.
Oh my god, it's the fact that even now I still remember that. You used to send us letters.
I did.
From
I used to send a letter every 2 days because
you used to make
I
me.
didn't always get one back.
No, because I couldn't be bothered to write.
That's fair enough. Connor wrote to us 3 times.
Mhm.
Even
That
though
was
even though you're dyslexic
even
as
though I'm
fuck.
dyslexic.
It's alright for saying his
It's,
name.
it's you can say my name. It's been said before.
fine.
But
But
Mhm.
Bat is dyslexic as fuck, so
Yeah,
God
exactly.
knows how you wrote letters.
Yeah, but I did try. It
Well-
took us 4 attempts to start. But yeah.
we sent us like song lyrics and pictures and stuff, which kept us going. Like not even photographs. Like
Yeah.
she drew us a picture of the Hulk, which is like my favorite superhero ever, and I don't know how he's a superhero because he's not a hero. He's like an anti-hero kind of like Deadpool.
Wasn't your friends in jail complimenting the fact that I could draw?
Yes, there were. And I have a funny story about Kirklev for in a minute, and I'll get back to that.
Mhm.
And in Durham you could tell you weren't happy, as well with the clothes. Because I remember it was like a shirt.
Yeah, because I was in Durham. You have to wear prison issue jeans and a prison issue shirt on visits, and you look like a criminal.
It was so funny.
But after 3 weeks, I moved to Kirkleventon Grange, and that was a Cat D prison, and that means Category D means you're a low risk to anybody. You haven't hurt anybody while you've been in there or anything like that. So they put you where you can.
Didn't Grandad help you do that?
Yeah.
Like my Grandad obviously he understood the situation.
My granddad got in contact with my solicitor, who got in contact with the prison, and basically got me into a better prison than what I was going to go into. I was going to go into HMP Northumberland, which is full of pure scumbags, to be honest. And that's not me bigging it up for the cameras, it actually is. Like,
What cameras?
bigging it up for the mic,
Tony.
it actually is. And like, well, to be fair, every prison's filled with scumbags. You've just got to find the right people that are in there for the wrong reasons.
When you're in Kirklev, I know we haven't really spoke about Durham too much, but time's getting on.
Yeah.
Kirklev, when you first went into there, I remember pulling up to Kirklev and there was like a chicken,
right.
well cooked,
Right,
chicken
right.
roll.
Cooked.
No, it was like because I mentioned it because when I came in, right, it was like there where because you had to pull into a car park, and the car park was there was a football field, but it also had chickens in it. Like also had chickens in the next bit, and then they used to, and I think what they used to do, they let the chickens run around in the football field, and I said, look, I was like, why is the chickens in the football pitch? And then the next time when we came out, I was like, oh look, the chicken the chicken World Cup's on, and all that.
It's the fact that
Which
you
was
had
funny.
chickens, they'll trust you with chickens.
Yes, they trusted me with chickens, but not. They didn't trust me with chickens. They
I know.
trusted me with bread.
Yeah.
But
They
But
trust
like, I remember as well walking into the cafe, and then they were like, it's run by prisoners.
see, in a Cat D prison, you can work outside. People don't understand this, but you can go. There's even a category. There's even a category E prison where you only go to jail on the weekends.
That's mad.
You're on tag for the rest of the week, like on home arrest.
Mm-hmm.
But because these are for people that have got jobs and they've got families and stuff,
Yeah.
and like they can't not do their jobs. Like
I remember you sent us letters about your job, about how you burnt yourself.
I did on many occasions.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have little diagonal lines all the way down my arms where I used to pull the
Bacon trays out.
bacon trays out, and it looked like I had been self-harming.
The thing is about Kate Life that I enjoyed was the fact that when you went into the
You
cafe...
enjoyed a present.
Yeah. The fact that when you went in the cafe, it was run by prisoners. They were really nice. The security was really nice. Patting you,
The
dude.
wa- the
I got
wa-
a
the
free
wa-
massage, mate.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. Because I never went to Durham, and but I went straight away to Kirklev, and literally.
Could you tell the difference between the two?
I never went to.
Well, when I went to Durham, I could tell the difference between Durham and Kirklife. Kirklife was so much nicer.
Yeah.
It was so laid back, wasn't it?
Yeah, because
I
it's
got
like...
it. Like
comfy
I
seats and
did get a free massage off when I went to Kirklev, and that was like when the dogs were out. This
The sniffer dogs.
Oh
sniffer
my
dogs.
God.
That was the day you just came with Amy,
No,
wasn't
it
it?
was it came with Dad.
Just Dad.
Mhm.
And because they wouldn't let us in for ages, and then the sniffer dog, the cut our visit short.
Yeah.
I was absolutely fuming.
It was about 10 minutes because like we were first. Me and Dad were first, right? And there was some kids behind us and all that, right? And we had to stand at a cone. And all them had to stand with our hands.
Oh
by
my
our
God,
side
that must
like
have been
this.
scary.
And what it was is literally like it was like how to bring it up was so good. This dog can smell drugs, electrical items. What was it? And any sort of electrical equipment. So that's even like vape pens or anything.
Aye.
Which I know you weren't allowed them anyway. But the fact is, it was like these can also smell money. I was like,
Money has a smell.
yeah, but I'm saying yes, money has a smell. But I was thinking, going, but the fact is, we need to be in there. You probably want us to buy food. Why?
Yeah, but
I know, but
You have a limit of how much you're allowed to take,
I
and it's
know,
£20
I know.
cash.
I know it's £20. Yeah,
But-
it was big. Technically, it was £20 each.
Can
person.
we slightly
Mm,
move on to what life was like
Yeah.
after
Not yet.
prison?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I have
Connor.
a few.
I know.
I have a few stories.
Funny.
What?
I know. So and then the sniffer dog came and jumped up on us, sniffed my torso, my legs down to my feet, stopped at my feet, and it looked like it was wagging its tail, but they were nothing. But I looked and I seen what they were doing before, because he was like hit something in the grass, and he was looking for it. It found it in like 10 seconds. And it, what it did, it just sit down and
Yeah.
sniffed, and that's it.
So,
But I thought,
as soon as they sit down,
Yeah.
that's when you know.
yeah, but it looked like it was sitting down, but it wasn't. But it was just trying to get to the bottom of my soul, and I was getting worried. I was like, I haven't got anything, and I might have stood on something when I came in. That was my head. That's like me, and it was like, oh, fine, you can go in. And then by the time you were sitting on the seat, I know.
What stories do you have for Kate Labson?
Right.
Tell her.
Well, what's the best thing that's ever happened there, or the funniest, and what's the worst thing that's happened?
The funniest thing that happened there was the funniest thing that happened there was when I tried to steal spice buns out the kitchen.
What, like hot cross buns?
Yes.
Are you mad?
But I only took them because they were defected in the first place, because the batch that I got my colleague and I got my fellow prisoner to make had salt in the batch instead of sugar.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, I
so-
remember that
So
day.
they were salty,
You literally.
and I took them literally to give them to the people on the wing, because we couldn't sell them in the calf, and we
Aye.
couldn't give them to the inside calf. You know what I mean? Like they sent them back and said the customer said they were salty.
It's the fact that you literally every single time you wrote us a letter, it was like something had happened that week at work. Something always happens at work. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Something
fight broke out outside my work. What a day. It's like, prisoners are fighting over my bread buns. What a day.
Yes.
It's like literally.
I want that bread when that's mine. No, it's not. It's not.
James
mine.
made it for me.
That was literally what it was like. I used to come home with 4 scones for myself, right? And I used to be like, I used to hear, and then I used to open the door and I used to go, got any of them scones?
Oh my god.
And I was like, I have, You want to swap for 4 rollies for a scone?
I remember that.
Aye.
How hungry are you?
I do. I'm sitting here with your tabs like, aye. For a scone, right, stay gone, mate. I'll even give you 2 pads of butter to go with it. And he was like, there's another rollie for the butter. And I was like,
The fact
Yeah, I
that
get it.
literally your buns, I remember that time when you were writing it, I had read it and it was so funny. It was just like, oh, this lad came in and he really wanted these bread buns. I couldn't believe it. I can't believe how famous they are. You would have thought they had drugs in it or something.
I know.
No. It's
Wait,
just,
No, they were just because I put in a little bit extra sprinkling of sugar on the top of the scones and they didn't beforehand. That's the only thing I
bet
did.
they were like high on sugar that day. They were just like, James made us these scones, man, and they're mint.
Like this good. yes. I want
And I'm
more.
like, I didn't put cocaine in it or speed, I swear. It's just sugar.
Every week I was getting a letter,
It's like
and it was
it's
like
like
funny and funnier.
it's like Kirk Levin before just had a cabinet and locked it with just sugar, and they were just not using sugar, and then you were like, what does this key do? Sugar.
The fact that also he had a friend in Kirklev called Custard, and when he
Yes,
wrote
I
it,
did.
when he wrote it and he said, I was like, what?
Wait.
Custard.
At the time, we thought you were hallucinating on something.
No, I was
For
like,
you-
I met
for-
this
for-
kid
for-
called
for-
Custard and had a
for
rap
you.
battle with him, and they were like,
The fact is, we thought you literally just had a jar of custard or like a tub of custard and started rapping to it, like custard.
Yes.
Yeah.
do you know the thing is, since that rap battle, I've thought of like proper fire bars, like
And he's not even here.
your face looks like a custard cream. I tell you what, mate, I'll take custard's dreams.
The fact that when you wrote it, I was like, what the hell is he on about?
But I got beat off
Custard,
this kid
no?
called Custard, right? Because I was told I had 2 days to prepare for this battle, and then the kid later came to us and says, "Come and do it tonight, because I leave tomorrow."
Go
And I was like, it's kind of had to be done then. So I was like, boom, 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 boom. And then his bars weren't good, but I would have said my bars were better, but I couldn't spit them because I hadn't rehearsed them. And I kept choking. And he beat us because he didn't choke.
what can I say something? What
Course
was
you can.
your main pastime when you were in jail? Like, what did you
Pool,
do?
table tennis. And getting to that story I was telling you about, we did used to watch a lot of films in the source room, but I made 7 grown, fully hardened criminals, grown men, cry their eyes out to Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh yes, I
yes,
remember
that's
that.
a.
Because they've
remember
never
that.
seen the film before, and it was on, and I was like, yeah, the football had just finished. We still had 2 hours left to source. We still, because you had to book the TV room.
Yeah.
Because it's a big TV, it's got Freeview on
Yeah.
it. The ones in your pad have got 9 channels.
Yeah.
What 60 Days In is another thing as well. There was one lass in there that was Muhammad Ali's daughter, and her dad had died when she was in prison. And the thing is, she couldn't cry or anything because it would have given away that it was his daughter as well. I was like, oh no. But yeah, I remember you phoned us because you got phone calls and Kate left and you phoned us and you went, I made 4 grown men cry. And I was like, what you done, James? What you done? Oh, sorry. Shoot. I said your name.
It's fine.
Anyway, I was like, what you done? What you done? And he's
We're
like,
using a decoy name, by the way.
Alright.
He's not really called James. It's John. Joseph. John Joseph.
anyway. So I was like, what you done? And he was like, I literally just put a film on and started crying. I was like, really?
What film was this? Like, was this like?
When he said Bridge
was
to
it-
Terabithia, I was like, oh.
But like, we were expecting like in our like, boy in the striped pajamas, something like really hitting hard. But then I really
What, like Schindler's List or
Schindler's
something?
List, aye.
So the fact
Nah.
that when you tell us, I was like,
No, but Schindler's List is like.
so these
3
are
hours long.
criminals
I know.
that you've just made Pure crime.
Cry their eyes out. And there was a female screw called Michelle, right? And she came past and she was like, "What are you doing? Sitting tissues, crying wise with blowing my noses and that." And she was like, "What are you doing, you bunch of pansies?" She was like, "You do know you're meant to be hardened criminals, right? You're in here for a reason. You're sitting crying your eyes out with film."
Wait, did you explain what the film was?
Yes,
Even-
and she said, "Still.
Even
That is a Disney film."
even
not
the
even a
hardness.
Disney.
I know, that's what I said. I was like, "Get your facts right. That's not a Disney film. It's a kids' film, but it's not a Disney film."
Even the hardness criminals are soft at times. Like,
See, everybody has a heart. You've just got to find it. And a little boy playing with a little girl for a few weeks, that sounded wrong. Right? But a little boy playing imaginary games in the woods.
A lad about 13, you know, that meets and then is like kind
the
of
thing
lonely,
is, right,
and then
you
finds his best friend, and along
Who's a lass.
who's a lass, and all that. Just meets
Scott.
her.
She beats him in a race.
you know when she dies.
Yeah.
So like she's sick out.
Spoiler.
She
Spoiler alert, by the way, she dies.
She dies.
Thanks, Wiz. Thanks.
You just
But-
spoiled the
Well,
film for people who really
And
wanted to
they might
watch
have wanted to watch
If
it.
you haven't watched Bridge to Terabithia by now, you're sad.
If you haven't watched Bridge to Terabithia by now, it's on Netflix at the minute. So
Go-
if you have Netflix, go and access
But
that
it's-
shit
it's
now.
or rent it on Xbox.
It's
or
just the fact
Microsoft
that,
movies,
right? It's,
or PSN movies.
it's not like
Stop, right? Stop giving Microsoft free publicity. They're not going to send you stuff free in the post, Connor. Stop crying.
All I want is just, you know, like a free game once a week. Even though I can just, because I do have gold, but this shit.
it's the fact that she wasn't
Absolutely shit games.
sick and she wasn't like dying of cancer now. She just full on just dies for no reason.
Cars our rope snaps
Mm-hmm.
because the rope's been getting weak over the months they've been sliding over the cross of it, and it's been raining, and the water level heightened over a ditch that they were swinging
Yeah.
over, and the rope snapped. She hit her head off a concrete rock, which she didn't see because it was covered in water, and she died, and he didn't know. She was just off school that day,
Yeah.
and he ran home from school.
No, you want because they were all off school today, but then he. but
yes,
then-
he went
then-
to the museum with his teacher he fancies.
Yes, he didn't really fancy. He just started like, she just was like.
No.
Wait,
did,
didn't
he
we
fancies
say
it.
no more because I might want to go watch it, but
And then,
Jesus.
then he made a bridge.
It's a fact.
And I love how he made the bridge after she died.
He made the bridge at the very end of the film, so the bridge to Terabithia. The whole film makes no sense to the name until you get to the very last 10 minutes.
It's basically like every single YouTube video that's been ever made. Ever.
Yes, it's
Even
clickbait.
ours.
Clickbait, yes.
Anyway,
Clickbait.
I don't like Bats' clickbait videos.
as we're
Let you
saying,
put my
do you
question.
think we should move on to what prison was like after now?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Right.
What life was like after prison.
Yeah.
like what was life like? What was like the initial reaction as soon as you walked out them gates with Dad?
You had turned around and
I'm
said
free.
the other day that you
This
wanted to
feels
go for
different.
Burger King.
Yes, I did. For a week and a half, all I wanted to do was eat Burger King beforehand. And unfortunately, Dad had to go to a funeral the day he picked us up, so he picked us up and rushed us back home. But he wanted to pick us up because he had a lecture to give us on
Yeah.
the way back,
Yeah.
which is fair
and
enough.
play that one song that he never actually played here on that day.
What was he going to play?
He's
White
got
Lines?
White Lines, aye.
I thought he was.
We can go to the toilet. Just
Whistle be 2 minutes.
aye, because I left our last 2 podcasts ago. Now she's leaving us. I had a phone call. She just needs to go to the toilet.
Just keep talking.
We are.
Mhm.
But yes, life after prison was weird. For the first few months, it was really weird, cause like I was used to walking to a locked gate, putting my head against the wall and my hands behind my back, standing there until I got told to walk to the other side of the door and do exactly the same thing while they locked the gate. Then I had to walk to the next gate and stop and do exactly the same thing. And then another, like, on the outside you don't get that. You don't get people telling you to stop at this door while they lock it.
Mm-hmm.
and open the next door. Then you walk through it and then they've got to lock it. It's weird. Every door's locked and like doesn't matter what door it is. Like it could be the door to the toilets, but it's locked. You know what I mean? But then you go to Kirklev and everything's open. Like you get a key for your pad and you're like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
I can come and go as I please as long as I'm not meant to be at work.
Yeah.
I can, as long as you're back behind your door for roll calls, which you have to do. You have to be there in the morning at 6 o'clock when you open your door. And as long as you can see skin, he doesn't care. So I used to sleep like that. You see, he needs to see, and like, they used to use
A
my
body
tattoo.
part.
They used to use my tattoos to
Yeah.
identify who I was in the
Yeah.
night. Like, they used to use that. If
Yeah.
they couldn't see that on my arm, they used, like, if my arm was like that,
Yeah.
they used to go and turn it over,
Aye.
and they're like, right.
I'm back.
And then, you used to get one just before dinner, and then you used to get one at 5 o'clock, and then you used to get one at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
What's this like?
Roll
Right.
call.
Oh,
You've got to be at your door with your card in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Burke, sir. Or Burke, miss. But the lads used to get clever. You know, when you are sitting in your pad waiting for a roll call because he knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
The lads used to walk down, like the other cons, used to walk down the block going, roll call! And like, to see how many people would just run to their doors.
Did you fall for it a couple of times?
2 times, aye. And then, like, one of the time the lad ran down, he was like, roll call, and 4 people went to the door, and then a lass come and went, roll call. And as soon as you have a lass say roll call in prison, you've got to be at your door,
Yeah.
because she's a con.
I know.
She's a screw.
One
Like,
of the
you know.
things I learned off 6 days in was if you tell somebody bitch, that's it, it's over. Yeah, done for. Yeah, getting brewed out.
There's 3 rules of prison. Snitches get stitches. That's number 1, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you chuck is double bubble at least, which means you see if you tick on a bottle of glucose pop for 50p, you now owe them £1.
Actually, yes, we were talking about this the other day, didn't I? I
Yes.
tell you, in 60 days in, this lad had traded something for tater tots, and because this lad wouldn't give what he wanted for this tater tot, he literally kicked him to the point where he was like dying.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you'll get your head punched all over for tater tots.
When-
Or you'll get your head punched all over for your muffin or your ice cream.
Muffin.
I swear down, you got a muffin for your pudding. Or on Fridays they used to give you a little pot. Remember them little pots of ice cream you used to get at school for your pudding?
Yes. The raspberry ripple one.
Aye, the raspberry ripple ones or the chocolate.
Mm.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
we used to get. We used to get strawberry, vanilla, chocolate and raspberry ripple, but I didn't like raspberry ripple though, so they had to run into the back and get us a chocolate one every time. And
But
they used to do it for us because they were the lads I used to work with.
wait a minute. But sorry.
Yeah.
But what was it like for you when he was in prison? Sorry, I'm just so
No,
tired.
No, yeah, right. I'll go one more thing.
Right,
From,
go on.
the fact is, what was like, say, like, if like, what do you think? Like, say, what is the main difference between American prison and UK prison?
Guns.
Guns. There's no.
Screws.
Screws.
Screws having guns.
Yeah.
Screws had guns.
And bars on your proper bars. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if you try, they're going to shoot you point blank.
Yeah. Well, did you have lockers in your pad?
Yes, but they didn't work. Because, like,
They didn't lock.
wait, not the fact that they didn't lock, some of them didn't open.
Mm.
Like, because, yeah, you were meant to have a key for them, but obviously they've been in there for years,
Mhm.
so the keys have been lost, and
Yeah.
so they tell
So-
you if you can open it, you can have what's inside.
Yeah.
So if people
Smart.
have ripped them off the walls and stuff to get what's inside them, sometimes it's nothing.
So sometimes it's like a moldy cottage cheese or something.
Aye, a mouldy cottage cheese, but the one in my pad, when I
Can you
opened,
even have cottage cheese in prison?
yes,
Okay.
you could buy it, but the one that I had in Durham on my pad, it was already half hanging off the wall, and there was only like 4 screws. Somebody's had rived it off and moved them into the pad.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my hand behind it and went, bang. And the whole thing come off and broke on the floor, and there was like 6 packets of baccy in it, loads of filters, loads of papers, and I was like, lighters, clipper lighters, Connor.
Yeah.
Like, when you got a baccy pack, and when you bought lighters off the canteen years ago, you used to get clippers.
Yeah.
But now you don't, you get safety, child-proof lighters with a little bit of metal that clip over the top. And they're just disposable shit.
Yeah.
But they last for ages. And, like, there was
It's
about
like the big
7
ones,
clippers.
Like the big ones.
Aye.
Yeah.
There was like seven clippers, like 5 packets of baccy, loads of packets of papers, a few little sleeve, like, you know, the little plastic sleeves of filters.
Yeah.
A few of them, and there was a can of pop. There was a can of, like, you know, 5 Alive.
Yeah.
There was a can of 5 Alive, unopened. Unopened can of 5 Alive, and and loads of packets of pepper and salt and shit and butter.
Something that would.
So basically, what did he do with the baccy? Did he just smoke it, or did he give them away, or did he sell some or something?
I sold it. Not all of it. I kept myself 2 packets, and then I put the other 3 out onto the wing. Like, but you can't just put a full packet of baccy. You've got to put, like, people will come up and say, "Can I chuck a quarter of baccy off you? Can I chuck an 1/8 of baccy off you?" And you're like,
Maths, you know?
aye. Tiny little piece.
That's like a tab or 2.
That's like 4 rollies though.
Yeah.
If you get, because it's compact.
Do you get a smoke in your pod?
In Durham, yes. In Kirklev, no. You weren't meant to
Yeah.
because you had a key. You could walk around. You could go anywhere you want. You had to go to smoking shelters.
So, Flex, is there any questions that you want to ask us?
Yes, actually. What was the worst part about me being away?
Not being there.
The fact that-
Not being there when we needed you to.
The fact that
And-
I was 17, nearly 18 at the time. I was literally gonna turn 18. It was my 18th birthday, like, pretty much soon.
It was in your 19th birthday.
It was my 19th birthday. It was the fact that you were away. I couldn't just ring you when I was upset. I couldn't just ring you when I needed you, or, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
another thing about prison guys. Like, I could ring you, but you couldn't ring me.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
whenever you wanted, you couldn't pick up the phone and say, "Oh, you'll get it."
Yeah.
You'll not. Like, you can write as a letter whenever. You could have wrote as a letter. You could have done whatever. But I would have to ring you, and I had to put money on like it was a payphone.
Yes, and another thing as well that it's like, say, whatever you sent, it got scanned.
Aye, got
like,
read.
It got read.
Your phone
and all
calls got listened to.
Yeah.
Can you remember?
Oh, and I said, I was on the phone to my mum, right? And
I didn't come to
he
visit
hadn't
yet.
been to the prison yet to visit us, right? And I says, if he doesn't come this time, tell him I'm gonna slap his face stupid.
As a joke.
As a joke, because me and Bats have got that banter. What I always have, what I
We're
was
brothers.
fighting on,
We're
what brothers,
brothers.
what do you expect? And I got pulled up. She was like, I was listening to your phone call and you're threatening people on the phone. I was like, he's me little brother. He knows I'm joking. She was like, but you cannot say that. You cannot write it in a letter either.
It's also as well, when I was writing letters, I had to be careful anything I said.
And,
It's like, I wanted to tell them about watching Jack and Escapist and that, but I had to be careful because they were like...
You literally have to censor what you write, and you have to
It's
really
like-
think about the letters that you send. But
I said,
listen, Wiz, she was getting high slag.
And you were getting wrong, weren't you?
I was getting wrong for using offensive language and letters, and that's not a very nice way to talk about women. I was like, it's my sister.
It's not a point.
yes, and I bought you a notepad because you needed
You
one.
did,
And
to
I
write rap bars in.
I know.
And I didn't get it until I left Durham, you know.
I know. No, we sent that as soon as you went to Kirk.
Oh, when you went to
Yeah.
Kirklev.
Yes, but I've written a note in it, and I asked you, did you get it? And you were like, nah, because they must have ripped that page out as they ripped the back of it,
Aye.
and all I just got is the paper. I didn't get the pad. I just got the.
I just got loads of empty, like,
Oh, but, you know...
loose pieces of paper,
You know
like
what my
loose
idea was?
individual booklets of
You know-
paper. I didn't even get the back cover.
You know what my idea was? was in one of my letters to be like, oh, I really like that screw I seen the other day, just because I read it. It's like,
Yeah.
you know when you're a postman, they apparently read your postcards because it's
It's
out in the blue.
Oh yeah, it's open.
You know what I mean?
Huh?
It's like
I would.
one of them that Russell Howard said was, oh, that postman looks right sexy, you know what I mean? I'd honestly wanted it in one of me letters to be like, oh, that God I seen the other day was right sexy.
Yeah.
Just to annoy them.
Aye. Right.
Anyway.
Right. You've got one more question to ask us.
It's for Wiss.
Okay.
Oh, itchy.
When I was there, how did you cope with not having a big brother?
It was horrible. I had gone to him for anything. I needed.
Did you have to go to her?
We went for each other.
Yeah, it was like kind of like before you went there, you were the one that was drinking with her, and like you were the one that was basically
Taking us out every
Yeah.
weekend.
and then
I was doing a proper big brother thing, but I wasn't with Connor.
I know, and then I just swapped places,
Aye.
and then we got more closer
And it's
to
like,
we were close obviously, but we got closer to the fact is that we were like starting to like
hang out every
hang
week.
out every week like we're used to, you know, that, and that kind of like brought us together. But it also, you know, having you not there made me like, you know, made me think that, you know, how much really I missed you, you know, and how much I took your time with you for granted in the time that were here normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird,
So-
isn't it?
I thought that exact same thing, because it made us realise how much I was spending time with Lisa and ignoring you.
And how much you were spending time with friends and not with actual family.
And
Aye.
it's
Yeah.
when you come out of prison, and it was like, oh, by that time I was like, I had a proper relationship. I was dealing with my ex cheating on us and stuff like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap up.
Right, we're gonna wrap up now, right? So,
I'm
do
gonna
you want to
wrap-
say anything before we go?
Thanks for having us, guys.
You're welcome.
And
You're welcome.
I hope you enjoy the answers I gave, and I'm sorry my prison life was boring and it wasn't as exciting as what you thought it was
Yeah.
going to be.
You might be back on
I
Tuesday.
do have more stories if you
Aye.
do want us back, and I will.
Yeah.
One day I'll come on and I'll spit some bars for the channel.
I think we're thinking about having him as a permanent guest, because I think it's going to be an actual like a family like podcast that was all like a sibling.
I'll tell you
podcast.
what. Let us know in the comments if you want me on this podcast every week, because I will if you want.
Mhm.
If you's enjoying my banter and you's enjoying me being here, comment in the bottom and leave a like on the video. It does help.
Right, so that's it then. If you enjoy this podcast, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.
Right.